Money. It's one of the most loaded topics for men, and most of us carry way more shame around it than we will ever admit. Whether you're broke or you've got some in the bank, but still feel like it's not enough. If you feel anxious, heavy, or behind when it comes to money, this conversation, this is for you. And just to be clear, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you financial advice. And I'm not going to tell you what to invest in or how to budget. What I am going to do is tell you the truth about why men struggle with money and why it has way less to do with discipline and way more to do with identity, survival, and the stories that we inherited. Hey man, I'm Kyle, a master NLP practitioner and a master success coach for men just like you. In this video, I'm going to give you the four-step framework I use with my clients that is simple and it just works. So stick around to the end so you too can learn how to get back into a healthy relationship with money. Now, I'm not a banker and I'm not an accountant. I'm just a man who used to suck with money. And I don't mean I didn't make any. I mean, no matter how much I made, I just kind of felt like I was always behind. So let's talk about money today. Not spreadsheets, not stock picks, not budgets. But I'm here to talk about why so many men struggle with money and why it's got nothing to do with discipline and everything to do with energy. So when it comes to money, most men are silently suffering, not because they don't want more, not because they're lazy, not even because they don't budget well. I want you to understand that money at its core, it's not just numbers and math. Money is energy. It's movement and it's reflection. Money is also known as currency, right? So the word currency literally comes from the Latin word currere, which means to flow. Also, think about the current in a body of water. What does that current do? Yeah, it's literally talking about the movement of water. And to take it another step further, electricity is energy, right? And how does electricity move? Yeah, through a current. So sit with that for a second. Okay, money or currency equals flow and movement. And for most men, that flow is blocked. Now, it's probably not because what you think it is. And I want you to stick with me here because I am talking about money and how it works. And I'm going to do it in a way that you probably have never heard of before. Now, this is not some woo woo theory, but it's real and it will change how you relate with money. So the flow is blocked for most men because they're carrying, some shame, fear, guilt, pressure, and really unresolved beliefs about what money means about them as a man. And I know this because I was one of those men for a really long time. So I want to dive a little deeper on this. Okay, so if money is energy and energy flows based on belief, then your relationship with money is simply a mirror of your internal belief system. That means if you fear money, it will avoid you. If you shame yourself over it, it'll slip away. If you overvalue it, it will control you. Avoid it, and it stagnates you, right? So you don't just have a money problem, you have an energy problem tied to your identity, worth, and your masculine expression, right? I will be the first one to tell you that I used to be that guy, right? Grinding, hustling, checking my bank app 4 times a day, pretending like it didn't even matter, you know, saying things like money isn't everything while secretly feeling like a failure for not having more of it. And I wasn't failing because I just didn't know how to save. I was I was failing because I didn't trust myself with money. And because I didn't feel safe receiving it because of those limiting beliefs about money that were given to me at an early age that I did not even ask for. Now, I didn't feel worthy of holding abundance, again from the limiting beliefs that I deeply had in my unconscious mind that I didn't choose. I had energy leaks everywhere because I didn't know any better. So plainly put, I didn't know what I didn't know, right? So let's talk about those limiting beliefs. So if you were raised around scarcity like I was, the the we can't afford that mindset, right? Or money being a source of conflict, stress, or silence, you absorbed that tension and you didn't even realize it. You learned about money without you even knowing you were learning about money. And really those beliefs that you picked up they've been really controlling your every move and you don't even know it. So I want to take you back now. Okay, so I can remember a time after time when I was little that I would ask for something, just something even just small, and I was met with the comment back from my parents of, money doesn't grow on trees, or we're not the Rockefellers, or another one that was said to me was, we don't have a money tree in the backyard. Now that one, that one used to confuse me because you just told me that money doesn't grow on trees, but then you tell me that there's a money tree. You know how kids are. They take everything literally, right? So another big one for me that used to come up all the time was money is the root of all evil, right? Now, I don't believe that it really is. I know some very wealthy people that are just fantastic humans. And if, if I had more money, I would be able to give back more like I want to. I believe that the person is responsible for the evil, not how much or how little money they have. Just like when a person kills another, the weapon of choice isn't the problem. It's really the intention of the person committing the act itself. And that's really a conversation for another video that maybe I'll do one in the near future. But getting back to money, right? So what happens is that through your environment, your nervous system wired itself to associate money with survival, anxiety, unworthiness, or scarcity. And that wiring, it doesn't just magically disappear when you start making more money. You can earn more and still feel broke. I have. You can save and still feel unsafe. Yep, checked an old box for me. You can be successful and still feel like money is just slipping through your fingers, right? Now, I feel attacked by that one. Okay. Because if you don't feel safe holding money, you'll unconsciously find ways to get rid of it. You'll overspend, self sabotage, avoid important conversations. You'll delay decisions, or chase shiny things that don't fulfill you. So that's not a lack of discipline. That's an issue of unaligned energy. And really, here's the part that most men never hear. You don't you don't fix your relationship with money by controlling it. You heal your relationship with money by understanding what it reflects about you. If money is energy and energy flows through clarity, alignment, and trust, then you've got to ask yourself, where am I leaking my power from? Um, what does money represent to me? Right? Is it validation, control, maybe survival? And another one is who taught me what money means? And do I still want to even believe that? Right? Even though we were, even though we're talking about money, it's a much deeper subject than just that. This is actually deep identity work. This is not budgeting apps, it's not financial hacks. You've got to regulate your nervous system to feel safe receiving, right? You've got to deconstruct old stories and limiting beliefs to allow that expansion. You've got to really release the need to prove something through your bank account, all right? Because when you start to understand money is just energy, you can stop gripping it. You can stop chasing it. You start trusting yourself to generate, really receive it and steward it, right? Not for your ego, but for impact, for peace and really personal leadership. So let me say this again. You don't have a money problem. You have an internal safety problem around money that was given to you long before you even knew what money really was. Um, like you fix that and the energy starts flowing again. So now that you know money is just energy and currency literally means to flow, let's talk about how to actually allow that flow to move toward you instead of feeling like you're chasing it. Because, most men, they're not actually broke. They're just energetically blocked. They're leaking their power, leaking self-trust, and really leaking integrity and wondering why money never sticks around. So here's the truth, right? So money flows where it feels safe, respected, and led, just like in any relationship. And if you're constantly gripping money, obsessing over lack, panicking over a bill, avoiding your bank account, or judging yourself for how you spend, you're really sending a very clear message. That message is, I don't feel safe holding this. And I want you to understand when you don't feel safe with something, your unconscious mind will either push it away or it'll sabotage it the moment it arrives. So, how do you actually start flowing money toward you? Here's how I teach my clients in four steps, right? The first one is to get clear on why you want it. So if your reason for making more money is rooted in fear, desperation, or proving something, that energy will repel abundance. But when you align with intention, not just to survive, but to serve, lead, create, and expand, money starts moving because it has a purpose. So ask yourself, if I had more money today, what would I use it to express? Um, what mission moves forward with this money? And am I trying to prove I'm enough, or am I just trying to create something that I believe in? Right. So this gets you out of that survival and back into flow. The second one, honor what you already have. So if you're not respecting the money you have now, even if it's not much, you you won't be trusted with more. Energy expands where it's appreciated. So check your attitude. Do you treat every dollar with care and intention? Do you avoid your financial reality because it may trigger shame? Or do you talk negatively about money around others? Start tracking. Start engaging that. Start bringing your presence to your finances like a man who's ready to lead and not hide. You don't flow more money by obsessing over lack. You flow more money by honoring what's already here. So, one of the nightly routines in my house is to speak our gratitude out loud to each other at night. We'll normally do this while laying in bed, And it's really the last thing that we do before we go to sleep. So this puts us in a higher vibration as we're falling asleep, and even though we're speaking consciously, our unconscious mind hears the gratitude and our internal worlds align more each night. So like it's a very simple routine, takes all of, 30 seconds. And we just don't speak about being grateful for money. We speak about being grateful for whatever, good or bad, that happened that day. It's really a time for us to reflect together. Hey, just a brief interruption from your video to tell you about an exceptional opportunity. You keep saying that you're ready to change, but let me ask you, what's actually changing? Because reading more books and setting more goals doesn't mean anything when your core identity is stuck in the same cycle. The real reason you can't move forward isn't because of lack of discipline or motivation. It's the loop that you're in. It's the beliefs that run your decisions before you even realize it. That's why I created the foundation, a free masterclass that shows you how to break that loop. I identify exactly how the loop operates, and it's broken down in a way that you probably have never heard of before. I also explain how to rewire your loop for success. This is not a lecture, it's not theory. It's the start of you finally understanding why you feel stuck and what you can do about it. Inside, you'll learn how to spot the thoughts that sabotage you, shift the identity underneath your patterns, and anchor new beliefs that actually support who you're becoming. You've tried forcing change. Now it's time to naturally become the change. Link is in the description for this absolutely free download of the foundation. Let's start your shift today. And now, back to our video. So the third thing is to heal your receiving wound. Now, this is big. Most men subconsciously block money because they don't feel worthy of receiving it freely. So if you grew up believing you have to suffer to earn, money only comes through grind, um, people will judge me if I have more than them, then when abundance does show up, you'll reject it. You'll discount your value. You'll downplay your pricing. You may push away opportunities or guilt yourself into self-sabotage. So like you want money to flow, learn to receive. That means allowing good things to come without guilt. Allowing those opportunities to enter without questioning your worth, and really allowing yourself to charge what you're worth and hold the line, right? Um, and you know, that's pretty much it right there. So the last one, number four, is really you need to solve problems. Don't seek permission, right? So money flows to leaders, period. Okay. And leaders don't wait for approval. They see a need, they move. They solve it, they'll create something for it, they'll offer a solution. So I want you to ask yourself, where can I take more ownership in my life? Um, where am I waiting for someone else to say I'm ready? What solution do you already have inside of you that others would find beneficial? That's the shift from scarcity to service, from desperation to value. Because when you focus on solving problems, money stops being a mystery. It becomes a reflection and really a byproduct of the energy that you're putting into the world. So no, it's not about being perfect, right? Remember, perfection does not exist. We have spoke about that. It's not about grinding 24/7 and burning yourself out. It's not about being the smartest guy in the room. It's it's just about alignment. It's about being a man who trusts himself to lead, receive, and circulate energy better. So, you don't chase money, you attract it. And really you attract it by becoming the kind of man who can hold it without gripping it. So I want to share with you what shifted for me. So really, I stopped making money a direct correlation about my worth, right? I stopped treating my income as a scoreboard for how masculine I was. And once I released that and that pressure fell off, I started leading my life and not reacting to it. So, if money is causing stress in your life right now, you have to ask yourself, where am I holding fear around money? Because the truth is, you don't need to suffer to be worthy. You don't need to prove yourself to be provided for. You just need to, you need to just get back in flow, right? So you're not behind, you're just unlearning the survival blueprint you were taught, and we're building a new one based on trust, leadership, and alignment. So I want you to understand money doesn't define you. How you show up for yourself does. So again, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. What I am doing is helping you upgrade the relationship you have with money so you can stop living in survival mode and start building something that actually feels like yours. So I've dropped some free tools below in the description. They'll help you rewrite the story, clear those blocks, and step into a new financial identity. And if you're ready to go deeper, join one of the group coaching programs. Apply for private one-on-one work with me and hit subscribe because I drop real conversations like this as often as I'm able to. You're not broken, you're becoming. And your money, it's just energy. Let's get it flowing again, brother. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.